bit different. Law of sines, we needed to know the angle and the side opposite of that angle in order to be able to do the law of sines. We had to know that. We can use law of cosines then for any other situations. Okay, so we don't need to know the angle and the side opposite. As long as we have 3 pieces of information about the triangle, we can find the rest. So if we know just the 3 side lengths, we can find all the angles. If we know 2 side lengths and 1 angle, we can find the other side. So law of cosines, our formula is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc times the cosine of a. So here's our triangle ABC with the little sides ABC. Okay, what I want you to notice is that here when we're taking the cosine of A, when we take the cosine of A, what angle or what side are we trying to find? So what side is this equal to? Cosine of A, this is equal to A squared. So if we want to find our side A squared here, we're going to end up taking the cosine of that angle.
So
all right.
Find out the cosine of that angle?
How would we?
Yeah.
Well, we'll use our calculators to help us with that.
Oh, so it'll always have, if you're trying to find a side, it'll always have their
It'll have, yeah, it should have the other angle for you. So if, well, let's do one example and then we'll try to show how this relates to all the others. So for our first example, I want to find A. So side A, I know side C is 8, side B is 10, and angle A is 60 degrees. Okay. So I want to find side A, side C is 8, side B is 10, and angle A is 60 degrees. Notice when we label the triangle, we don't have the side opposite of the angle. Right? So law of sines wouldn't work because we don't have that side A. And we can't find the other angle measures. So that tells us law of cosines has to be used. So we would follow this formula. Okay, so to find our side A, we would say A squared is equal to whatever your other 2 sides are, we're going to square them both. So here, b squared plus c squared. So in this case, it would be 10 squared plus 8 squared. Minus 2 times b times c. So 2 times those 2 angles. 2 times 10 times 8. And then times the cosine of your angle A, which is 60 degrees. Okay, this you can actually put right into your calculator and it will give you the correct answer. All right, you just have to make sure. Yep, cosine is 60 because 60 is the angle. So you should be able to put it right in there. With these calculators, if you have this one, you want to put this whole second part into parentheses. Yep, a minus there. Good, that's what, so far you guys have gotten 84 for this. Okay, so that's what A squared is equal to. So how would you find A then? Square root, right.
9.2.
So A in this case is equal to 9.2. Yeah, look down on the left-hand side, I think, on those ones.
Wait, I got
Oh, you did squared, not square root.
second.
You have to hit the second. There you go. Yep. Is that okay? All right. Let's do another one.
I was going to use the A squared, not B squared.
Yeah, well, sometimes we're going to have to think about it a slightly different way, and that's going to be our next example.
Could you just clean that up in the
Yes. Rut, were you able to use your calculator correctly for this? Did you do it?
Oh, this?
For this one?
I don't know.
Because this one's a little bit different.
Let
Okay.
me take a look.
Well,
So,
we're going to the next one.
oh, that's okay. I'll wait.
Make sure you do this one. Okay. So our formula says a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc times the cosine of a. So, no. All right. Second one. Focus. Up here.
Dan always tries to make me look like an idiot.
Find x. Shh. If x is 45 degrees, y is 11, and z is 25. So this time, instead of triangle ABC, what do we have? X, Y, Z. So we're going to have to think about the letters that were given and where they would go into our formula. So here we want to find side x. So there's our side x. Angle x is 45 degrees. Side y, so go opposite of y is 11. And side z, so opposite of z is 25.
So now would like x be a?
Exactly. So now we know angle 45. Okay? So that would be our cosine of the a part. So that means our x squared would be out in front. Okay? So the angle and the side opposite of each other here, the side opposite is the one it's equal to, and the angle is the one you're taking the cosine of.
So it's going to be 45.
So here, we'd say x squared is equal to. What are the two sides that were given?
25.
25 and what else? 11. So we'd say 25 squared plus 11 squared minus.
Does it really matter how you have those?
Nope.
And c is 25.
Yeah, 2 times 25 times 11 times
45.
times the cosine of 45. All right, so try this one out.
Alright.
18.9.
2. Parenthesis 25.
That's after you took the square root?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before it was like 3 something,
I
right?
got 300.
57. That's what I
57.
got.
Is everyone able to get this value for x squared? Yeah, we'll use your calculator to get the final answer.
Yep.
Okay, so for these calculators, right, like the one you've got, you need to put all that last part in parentheses. Otherwise, your calculator will subtract 2 from this value.
Parentheses of 25 and 11 though?
No, you can just add times.
Oh, okay. So parentheses 2 times 25,
Everyone got this now?
11.
And then when you take the square root of it, what do you get for x?
I got 388 point. Oh, God, I give up.
So start with 25 squared plus 11 squared. 25 squared plus 11 squared.
2 times 25 times 11 then
Times 45 cosine
cosine then
equals.
equals.
Okay, but you didn't do your 25 squared plus 11 squared minus
You have
that.
to do that too?
Yes.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay. Is this okay? All right. So now the other thing that we're going to do with this is we are also going to find the angle. Okay? So if I give you all 3 side lengths, we can find one of the angle measures. And quickly. And finding one of the angle measures is going to be there's going to be a little bit more involved than just this. Okay, you got it now, Rhett?
Oh, I got it.
Okay. So here, I want to find the measure of angle L if side N is 5, side M is 27, and side L is 24. I want to find the measure of angle L. So this time, what will I be labeling my triangle as? Yep. L, M, and N. Okay. And then we want to label our sides. So where will my 5 go? Right there, yep. Go directly across from the end and put your 5 down. M is going to go where? On the bottom, so directly across from your M, and then L is 24. So now our formula, a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc times the cosine of a. So in this case, what do we want to try to find? Which angle? Angle, well up here, what does it say? Angle L. Okay.
How come they put an M? So it'd be 20.
This little m just stands for measure of angle L. So here, if I want to find the cosine of angle A, what side is out front?
L.
Side A. So here, if I want to find cosine of angle L, I should put side L out in front. Okay? So I would start with, which side is side L? 24. So we'd say 24 squared is equal to, good, 5 squared plus 27 squared minus,
Wait, why would it be 5 squared? Wouldn't you go to B?
it doesn't matter which order you put those in. So it doesn't matter if you put the 27 squared first or second.
Doesn't matter if you
Cosine of L.
Does it matter what? I didn't hear you. Yeah, 24 has to be first because notice here, this is cosine of A and side of A. Since we're looking for angle L, our side L has to be the side out in front. Okay. So now the goal here is to get cosine alone. So we're going to have to do some algebra type skills here to get cosine alone. So we are viewing the cosine of L like a variable. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get all of our numbers together. So we can figure out what 24 squared is, right? So what's 24 squared?
576.
It's equal to? Okay.
Wait, why do you have to put that stuff though? If 5 squared plus 27 squared equals 24, it says.
But 5 squared plus 27 squared has minus this whole stuff after it.
Oh.
So now, 5 squared plus 27 squared, would those two be like terms?
Yes.
So can we add those two together right away?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Okay, so let's take 5 squared and add on 27 squared. Okay, 754 minus. Now we certainly could also multiply 2 times 5 times 27. And what would we get there?
270.
Times the cosine of L. Is everyone okay with that step, what we did? Now, view the cosine of L. This is our variable. So here it's like we have 270x. Okay, so how would you get that x alone? What would you have to do? We can't divide yet.
Times.
Because here we still have two numbers. So we have to subtract the 754.
Can't believe we didn't see that.
So 576 minus 754.
Negative 178.
We got 754 from 5 squared plus 27 squared. So now we have negative 178 equals negative 270 times the cosine of L. And now what would we do to get? Now we would divide by negative 270.
Divided by 270. Negative 0.65.
Try dividing again. Now that's equal to cosine of L, but how do we find the angle measure?
Then we do second cosine.
Yep, then we have to do the
48.8.
cosine inverse, the cosine of the -1 of this value that we got. So you can use your answer button. 48 point what, Rhett?
0.8.
So 48.8 degrees.
It is. It's just too much work.
That's only find one angle.
That's one
ridiculous.
angle.
Well, to find the other two angles, I mean, we're not going to do that today. We'll talk about that tomorrow, but then you just use law of sines. You don't have to use law of cosines again. All right, let's do another one where we have to find the angle measure for.
For sure.
She won't. Yeah, she already took the ducks. She won't take the mice back. She took my ducks back.
So A is 10, B is 12, and C is 18. We want to find the measure of angle B. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times the cosine of A.
This is like a stupid version of the Pythagorean theorem.
Yes.
This is derived from the Pythagorean theorem.
So we used to small children.
No, you guys can do this.
No.
All right, so where am I going to put side A?
Well, you see.
Across from A, so there's 10. B, 12, and C, 18. Now this time I want to find angle B. So if I want to find angle B, what side has to go out here? 12 squared. So 12 squared is equal to 18 squared, and what's the other side that we haven't used yet? 10 squared. Minus.
This is confusing. Why would you put 12 squared out there?
Okay, so
Put 10.
we are using 12 squared out there because we're looking for angle B. So we need to use the side opposite of angle B over there. If we put 10 out in front, we'd be finding angle A, which is not what the problem asked for.
Do you put cosine B?
Yeah. So 2 times 18 times 10 cosine of B. Okay? So you have to, this formula, you have to keep in mind. So I did this example on purpose because here we have A, B, and C, but we are not using those variables as A, B, and C in our formula. So you need to take the formula, think about what it represents, and use it that way. Okay? So let's simplify. So 12 squared. What's 12 squared? 144 is equal to, now these two are like terms, so we can get them together. I would suggest you pay attention instead of talking with one another. So what is this when we get these together?
Or not 44, 24.
That's 18 squared, but do we add 10 squared to it? So 424 minus, what would be 2 times 18 times 10? And then cosine of B. Okay, so now what would we have to do next to try to get our cosine of B alone?
Trick.
Minus the 424. So 144 minus 424. Negative 280 is equal to negative 360 times the cosine of B. Montana, pay attention to up here. Divide by 360 because it's attached with multiplication right here. So we divide by negative 360. And we get 0. What? A lot of sevens. The sevens even look kind of like they're repeating, right? Is equal to the cosine of B. So how do we find the angle? Yep, the cosine of the -1 of this answer. And what do we get?
39.6.
I think you might have hit sine instead of cosine on accident.
38.9.
Yeah, 38.9 degrees.
How would you just round it
Wait,
up
do you
to
have to hit a
39?
repeating bar or something then?
Okay, so you got 39.6 because you put the 0.77 in here. Always use your answer button. You don't want to round this because it's ignoring everything else that was there. So always use your answer button. Okay?
Oh,
All right.